I'm not doing so great right now. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but it's been a while since I last uploaded, and that's just because I've been dealing with a lot of stress and a lot of creative burnout. And there's many different factors, there's many different reasons why you might be in a similar mind space to what I'm enduring right now. I have all these different ideas and many different resources and all these different assets that are actually really helpful and things that I should actually be able to do so that I'm able to create great art, but I'm just not feeling it. I'm not motivated, and it drives me crazy. So I wanted to talk about a couple of these different things that I think are causing my creative burnout. If you've ever been in this state of mind, or if you're currently in this state of mind, it's not that fun. So hopefully this video is actually able to help both of us to get out of this mess that we're in. Now, regardless of whether or not you are diagnosed or you deal with mental illness, you still need to take care of yourself and take care of your mental health. Mental health is a big factor in what can cause creative burnout. And just so you guys know, I am not a doctor, I'm not a professional in this at all, I'm just some idiot who makes YouTube videos. So if you are dealing with mental illness or you struggle with your mental health, I'm not the person who you should be getting your advice from. Go see a doctor, go see a healthcare professional. That should be your first and really your best way of being able to overcome any type of mental health struggles that you might be dealing with. My father struggles with bipolar disorder, my mother struggles with borderline personality disorder, my sisters deal with anxiety and depression, and I have ADHD, and that often also is tied into anxiety and depression. So even though I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, I have a lot to say in the matter because I have lived through a lot of these different experiences, and I've lived through a lot of these different challenges that you might face with mental health and mental illness. And currently, this is a big factor for me and my creative burnout. This past month, my doctor decided that he was going to lower my dosage of my medication that treats my ADHD, and it has not been going well. I'm finding it very difficult to actually sit down and focus and to sit down and create, just to be able to write down my thoughts or actually be able to organize myself is incredibly challenging, and it's exhausting right now. But if you struggle with mental health, the best thing I can recommend is getting treatment by a professional. And treatment doesn't necessarily need to result in medication. Sometimes that results in accommodation. This might have something to do with your diet. It might have something to do with the fact that you need to go out and exercise on a regular basis. Regardless of whether you struggle with mental illness or not, going and seeing a doctor and being able to come up with new and good strategies to be able to help keep you in the best mindset is a really good idea. These are accommodations, these are strategies, these are things that are put in place to be able to help benefit you to be able to move forward and succeed in life. Don't be ashamed of the fact that you need these sort of accommodations or that you need treatment. I mean, glasses are treatment. It would be really stupid of me to not wear my glasses and then for me to not have the right focus or framing because I'm not able to see. I can't read, I can't write, I'm getting headaches all the time. Why is it that we're so ashamed of treating issues like mental illness, but we're not ashamed of dealing with things like wearing glasses or needing to have crutches if you can't walk? Let's talk about writer's block. Writer's block and creative burnout are not the same thing. I see a lot of people who mix up these two terms together, and they think that just because they are dealing with writer's block, that they are in a state of creative burnout. Though they are very similar, they are also very different. I've noticed that when I'm dealing with writer's block, or if I just can't come up with ideas, I still have this desire to make art, and I'm still motivated to pursue that, and I'm just trying to be able to find a new way of being able to come up with an idea. On the other hand, creative burnout is not the lack of ideas. As a matter of fact, I have more ideas than I ever did before, but I also don't have the skills and I don't have the resources to execute those ideas because my mind right now is it's a mess. I can't think straight. Now, it can often lead to creative burnout because if you're not coming up with ideas and you're stuck all the time, eventually you might not want to pursue those ideas forward, or you just are not excited to pursue any type of artistic outlet because, hey, I'm not really coming up with new ideas, so why even bother trying? But there are many different strategies of being able to overcome writer's block. Unlike with my first suggestion with creating a routine or creating a structure in your life, the best thing you can do if you're dealing with writer's block is to break that sort of regularity in your life, to be able to break that routine. Maybe you always go to bed at 8 o'clock every night, but instead you decide to go for a walk at 10 o'clock at night, and that gives you a new idea. You see the city or you see the town in a new perspective, and then you're able to kind of trigger new ideas. If you're breaking your routine on a semi-regular basis, you're going to be experiencing new and different things in your life, which can often lead to new and creative ideas. If you're consuming content, that will also help you to be able to gain new ideas. If you're watching a lot of different movies and a lot of different TV shows and you're reading a lot of different books, that will hopefully help to trigger a new idea by getting inspired by other artists. Maybe there's something outside of your specific art form that is able to help provide you with a new perspective that you didn't think of before. If you're a writer, maybe don't look at Shakespeare's work all the time. Maybe get inspired or gain new ideas from someone like a stand-up comedian or maybe a painter, because they are in a completely different field. That is going to help separate you from a lot of these other artists out there. As awesome as a YouTuber as Peter McKinnon is, or Matty Apoya, Make Art Now, and as great as creators as those people are, they are doing awesome work, and I really appreciate everything that they're doing. I'm being inspired by people like The Honest Carpenter or Vsauce, different creators who are not just talking about filmmaking. I'm looking at other creators who are outside of the traditional field. If you're able to be inspired by people who are outside of your individual field, or you're able to be inspired by people who are not really in your same category, then that can help separate you from everyone else and can also help you with your writer's block if you are struggling with coming up with new creative ideas. And lastly, if you're struggling with creative burnout because you are doing too much, you have too much on your plate, stop. Seriously, it's happening to me over and over and over again, where I get really excited about these ideas and then I feel like I'm pressured to have a deadline. No one's going to die. No one's life is dependent on you making art at this particular moment. If it's not healthy for you, you should take a break. There's no shame in needing to take a break if you are overworked and if you are dealing with a lot of burnout. I mean, think of it this way. If you're dealing with a physical sickness, or maybe your arm is broken, maybe you are throwing up all the time, people aren't expecting you to do the same job the same way that you've been doing it before. To me, it's the same thing if you are dealing with creative burnout. If you're exhausted and you're not able to function as a human being, you need to take a break. You need to actually take care of yourself and rest. I also recommend that you find another outlet, find some other activity, something else that you're able to do, because if you're completely identifying yourself with your specific art and you're finding that it's really challenging to move forward, that can really take a toll on you and your social and mental health. It starts going downwards. This happens to me all the time. When I really cannot make a film, I start questioning my whole identity. I start questioning, who am I really? If I'm not able to be a filmmaker, what do I do? Don't put your entire life, don't put your entire identity into being this artist. You are many other things. I have to remind myself that all the time. I am not just a filmmaker. I'm not just a YouTuber. I am a brother. I am an uncle. I am a son. I'm an amazing dart player. I have a fantastic smile and a great beard. I'm also really good with computers, and I'm really good at problem solving, and I'm pretty good at engineering and building things. There might be times in your life where you're not actually able to do those creative projects. Does your entire life, does your entire identity fall apart and crumble? That can be devastating, and it is. It happens to me all the time because I put so much of my identity into being a filmmaker, into being a YouTuber, into being a content creator. And when I can't actually perform, or when I can't actually execute those projects, I start questioning what I'm actually capable of doing. What do I offer in this world? And it becomes really discouraging. But if you're able to do other things and you're able to really put your identity into who you are as a person, not just who you are as an artist, you are going to be far more satisfied, far more happy, and you're going to have a lot more joy in your life if you're able to identify and you're not just dependent on being that one thing. Anyway, guys, those are just some of my thoughts on the subject of creative burnout. I hope it was really helpful for you. Pray for me as I'm dealing with this, because I'm struggling right now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ring that notification bell so you're getting those notifications. You know, do all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Take care.